super delighted to have you join us today. It is the first installment of Morning Spring Western Spring Television for the week. And today is it's Monday, February 23, 2026. We're welcoming you to Morning Spring. This is where we have frank discussions on some of the happenings around you, bringing you the newspaper review segment where we check out the headlines, making the faces of some of the dailies, that we review right here on the show, and then bringing you quality analysis as deemed fit by, some of our analysts right here as they see it, affecting your life, my life, and, people around us. All of the time. My name is Timitope Ajijola. Welcoming you. I hope you had a delightful, restful weekend. Good morning, Femi. Let me begin with you.
Good morning, Tope. I hope you're good. And how was your weekend? Very
good. I was about asking you. I said, let me begin with you. How was your weekend?
Well, I think I took it from you then.
All right.
All right. It's a beautiful morning, dear esteemed viewers. Welcome to a new week, the 23rd day in the second month of the year 2026. Welcome to Morning Spring, where we get to, keep you abreast of happenings in our world, in Nigeria and in the globe. And we go to talking points where we get to have insightful conversations with stakeholders, analysts, and the likes. Today is another beautiful day. First installment for the week. Welcome to the show. My name is Olufemi Alibun. We are set to start the day, to hit the ground running. Good morning.
All right, so this morning we are set. We'll be breaking down the key issues driving public discourse. We'll ask you the right questions. We'll ask will make you think and ask yourselves some of the right questions you should be asking yourselves, especially through the array of, public discuss, topical issues right there. We'll make you ask that, and we'll give you the context you need to make sense of some of the things happening around you. And this morning, it was the local government,
the
area council elections, in the FCT,
local government
right there.
Rivers and Kano.
Yes, exactly. And so, pockets of, off-cycle elections right there. And those were the, by-elections rather, and those were the elections there. And the outcome for the FCT, APC won in 5, of the 6 chairmanship seats, APC won 5 of them. Gwagwalada alone, but in Buhari, in Kuje, in Abaji, in Amak, that's the area municipal, council there, Abuja area municipal council, right there, several, snagging of the seats by the APC. It was right there.
Despite the fact that there were still reports of vote buying,
Of course, the FCC arrested some suspects, and they recovered 13.5 million, I think.
As low as 10,000 to buy votes. I'm wondering, but this makes me ask the question. The Electoral Act bill was just assented by the president, and we're thinking, okay, all these things will be covered, and in the bill there are punishment for all of this issues, and I just hope that this is, I feel it's beyond just the government changing things. We as citizens, we have a role to play too, because if somebody will say, if there are no buyers, there won't be sellers. So imagine an area council election, not even, we're not talking about the governorship seat, we're not talking about the presidential seat or the general big, well, area council elections are big too. However, like talking about, this is like a wee thing, a chairman you appoint in your area council and councillors that maybe you get to meet one-on-one, and vote buying still occurring. I don't know. I just hope that we get things right from us starting with this.
Like they say, Abuja is a big fish.
Abuja, for that matter, are you selling votes for 10,000?
That's to tell you how badly, the mindset of the people are worked, how badly the economy of people have been, battered, shattered, degraded. And so you can buy people's votes for as low as you can offer. And that's just, our reality as a people in the country. Poverty has eaten so deep, people cannot afford a square meal. And so it's that terrible, it's that bad. But even at that, your vote shouldn't be sold. Nobody has the right to buy your votes. And you're only, they can only buy your votes because you allow them to. And people can come to offer you. It is your duty to stand against that and to say no. So yes, APC won the Abuja Municipal Area Council, one in Abaji, one Buhari, Kwali, and Kuje, and PDP emerged and Gwagwalada Area Council alone. All right, so those are just some of the issues, and then the issue with the NMPCL and UPRC, all of those, pockets of issues are still there. And then there is this warning from bandits, going to particular states, asking them to pay 100 million naira just so they would not attack their community. That is still there, making it to the face of the paper. It's so demeaning to us as a people. It is terrible. It's not some of the news we want to be recording or to be seen on the face of our papers or the dailies. This is the point where we are, and we are still calling on the government day in, day out to be abreast of this issue. Insecurity. We need to be safe. All right, so it's about that time where we go on this quick break, and when we return, we'll serve you the headlines, making the faces of the day. Stay with us. You're welcome back to the show. It's still Morning Spring on Western Spring Television, and it is the newspaper review segment right here. I begin with the Nation newspaper this morning. The banner headline: APC victory in FCT, Rivers, Kano, a referendum on Tinubu government. Victory in FCT, Rivers, Kano, a referendum on Tinubu government. As the Risers ruling party sweeps into big win in Abuja councils by elections. President hails peaceful polls. President hails peaceful polls. And you can see the details right there. You can see FCT, Gwagwalada, APC 17,788. PDP 22,165, ABGA 1,682, ADC 1,668. Right, in Kwali, APC had 17,032, PDP 8,575, ADP 3,225, ADC 1,073. All right. And several others right there, because we have several papers to look through. We may not be able to take. And you can see Dito, you can see Dito to Kano and Rivers as well, giving us, the figures, actual figures of the wins. All right. You can see the faces of the winners as well, besides that, detailed on the Nation. Kwali. You can see that of, you can see Danjuma of, you can see Kwali of Kwali, you can see Danjuma of Kuje, you can see Muhammad of Gwagwalada, you can see Maikalangu of Amak, that's Abuja Municipal Area Council, you can see Omar of Abachi, you can see the winner of Buhari there, Ishako. And those are the faces of those winners right there. Below that, interest rates cut likely as MPC meets today. Interest rates cuts likely as MPC meets today. Right. And to the bottom strip right there, Naira rallies across markets on oil refining, Forex injection. Okay. You can see there's just above the nameplates. Capital markets contribution to GDP triples to 33%. Nigeria wins in $6.2 million dispute with European firm. Nigeria wins in $6.2 million dispute with European firm. Steer clear of Eba oil well. Ayedatiwa wants Abiodun. Steer clear of Eba oil well. Ayedatiwa wants Abiodun. Then you can see this coming from the Chief of Defense the defense minister, right there, General Christopher Musa. He says, Defense Minister General Christopher Musa on insurgency, counter-terrorism, production of military hardware, indictment of Kwankwaso by U.S. lawmakers, among others. See Monday, all right. You can see that on the Nation newspaper. Those headlines, right, they're coming through the Nation newspaper this morning.
All right, very quickly checking through the second paper for review this morning. The Guardian here with the banner headline, Uncertainty trails future of shea nut exports as 6-month ban ends. Uncertainty trails future of shea nut exports as 6-month ban ends. You can see the breakdown of a shea butter market there below the banner headline there. However, moving to the left side below the banner headline, activists kick as Plateau sponsor pilgrims weighs 7.48 billion naira. Activist kicks as Plateau sponsors pilgrims with 7.48 billion naira. Uni Abuja expels 28 students, revokes certificates of 15 alumni. That you can see the full gist of that story on page 9 of the Guardian newspaper. Below that, coming to the left hand side of the Guardian, here Nigeria loses $6 billion yearly to cargo diversion over high airport charges. Below that, NAFDAC seizes banned fake cosmetics worth 3 billion naira in Lagos. Low turnout, electoral reform backlash, showdown APC's FCT sweep. I take that again. Low turnout, electoral reform backlash, showdown APC's FCT sweep. That's I see the picture of the INEC chair there. That's Professor Joash Amopiton there. Below that, new research pushes back failed state tag of Africa's pre-colonial states. And below there, the downstrip there, you have Dangote opens refinery shareholding to Nigerians, set 4-month timeline. Dangote opens refinery shareholding to Nigerians, sets 4-month timeline. Below the banner plate, below the banner plates there up, we have this headline: CDS. We can achieve intel stability via controlled rehabilitation of terrorists. We can achieve intel stability via controlled rehabilitation of terrorists. Anxiety as 25 oil blocks expire amid new executive order. Soldiers foil Boko Haram attacks, kill 29 in Borno and Yobe. These are some of the headlines you can find on the Guardian newspaper this morning.
Right, that story that you took there of the Chief of Defense Staff saying we can achieve intel stability via controlled rehabilitation of terrorists. I often wonder why the continuous hammering of rehabilitation of terrorists. Who rehabilitates terrorists? I mean, just for, intel. I mean, there are other ways you can get intel. Why must you rehabilitate terrorists? Why not? I mean, if they were putting a lot of, effort on getting intel, on recovery of those that have, been abducted, those that have been battered and shattered, those that have been killed. If there has been justice, if you're abreast of the situation, if there have been several captures, we should be talking, that should be the concern, that should be the main focus, not rehabilitation of terrorists. We've been talking about the state governor that has been talking about rehabilitation as well, repentance, bandits and all of those. And we've seen over time, these people are not repentant. They aren't. And so a lot of issues around there. I don't see it as auguring well, and I do not see how the message that this passes to people who have been constantly attacked by these same terrorists that you plan to rehabilitate. So coming from the Chief of Defense Staff, I don't know if the people will have so much faith, in that, if that is the mindset. So you rehabilitate them just so you can, because you hope to get intel. So what? From them. A lot of issues. Definitely. And I think that Nigerians should begin to question some of these things that they see. Because at the end of the day, this might be the much you hear or you see. And they go ahead with this rehabilitation exercises. And these people are brought into the system.
Exactly.
And they know everything. Yeah. A lot of issues. They become ahead of you. They plan ahead around your architecture.
Exactly.
And so you want
because they are in the system already. They know the plan. How
do you beat yourself at the game? So it's a lot of issues.
A lot of issues.
So I just said we should talk about that. I mean, before we leave the Guardian newspaper this morning. All right, let's go to the second paper on the review for today. Right there, that we've taken the Nation, taken the Guardian now, and we move to the Punch newspaper this morning. NNPC, NUPRC fear financial squeeze after Tinubu's order. NNPC and UPRC fear financial squeeze after Tinubu's order. The rider is right here as well. Tension soars as executive order disrupts oil revenue flow. Pengasan, NNPC and UPRC officials foresee funding crisis. Below that, India deports 2,356 Nigerians in 5 years. Awujale, reeling family demands governor resume selection process. And to the lower strip of the paper, foreign investment in manufacturing plunges 54%. 19 more Nigerians face U.S. deportation. Uni Abuja expels 28 students over drug offenses. Others. Right beside the nameplate right there. 2027 real-time results transmission achievable, say telcos. Right? FCT polls. PDP drags APC to court after 5 council sweep. PDP drags APC to court after 5 council sweep. Regan, INEC Rex risk 2-year jail term. INEC Rex risk 2-year jail term. So he found culpable. Resident electoral commissioners of INEC risk 2-year jail term. Tinubu slashes Genco's 6 trillion naira bill to 2.8 trillion naira. Tinubu slashes Genco's 6 trillion naira bill to 2.8 trillion naira. All right, people will smile and say, if the federal government can slash Genco's bill, from 6 trillion naira to 2.8 trillion naira, how much more Nigerians that are really, on the bottom of the food chain, all these estimated billings and all of those that, and this is generation companies anyway. So, well, lots of questions, lots of, rationale behind all of this. And then, but these are interesting headlines right there on Punch newspaper this morning. Well,
just as you're talking about interesting headlines, that headline there on the PDP dragging APC to court and all that, in my mind, although I could see a Turaki picture right there, meaning that the faction of Turaki is dragging the APC to court, because I get to wonder which PDP, because when you say PDP now, you're thinking of 2 angles, the ones that are loyal to the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, which it's believed that he's also in the administration, so we never can tell until they say it themselves. Is he in PDP, is he in APC? And talking about Turaki's side, where there is still court ruling back and forth. So I just get to wonder what PDP is expected in the outcome of this dragging. And I just hope, we can only keep our fingers crossed and expect the best.
Well, for lots of discussions that have been going on around the PDP, it's a wonder. And I think that this is the situation of an old soldier who never dies. The PDP has been said to be dead and buried by several people, to be cackers, and here they are.
But even in the grave, they're still working.
Exactly. So, but then this has been a reality for years now, where we have elections and we still head to court.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then I'm seeing something on X where were saying that APC won. I mean, probably because Wike was in 3 polling units as well, you know.
Yeah,
like
there was a report that he went round, and ADC accused him of that why does he have to, he doesn't have that legitimacy to do that. And I read a report where his spokesperson, Leroy Inka, gave a reply that why is it that you were talking about, he's an FCT minister, he's legitimate to walk around to monitor that why are people talking about Wike alone? Omoyele Sowore did the same. VDM was also out monitoring. Why were they not shouting about Omoyele Sowore going around, VDM going around? Why is it Wike himself and all that?
Several explanations to that. People would say, okay, he does probably have a right to do so. He's the FCT minister, and most of the things, the outcome of the elections will boil down to you know, his activeness in ensuring that there was a smooth this thing. And people would also say that probably it's okay for a Sowore to move a VDM. They don't have a stake. Yeah. Unlike the PDP, I mean, unlike the FCT minister that is there. So lots of issues and back and forth, you know, arguments right there. Move now to Daily Trust newspaper this morning, and it says here 2025 budget, capital without cash. 2025 budget, capital without cash. Well, we'll see how that goes. To the bottom straight, very interesting headline, very terrible headline, very dangerous headline there. Bandits to Kebbi villagers, pay us 100 million naira or we attack you. Bandits to Kebbi villagers, pay us 100 million naira or we attack you. At this time, you wonder where the NSA is, you wonder where the Chief of Defense Staff is, you wonder where the Minister of Defense is, General Christopher Musa. And I get questions. We hope that, you know, they really go on top of the situation.
And I get to wonder how these people get to communicate, the means of communication. Yeah. Why can't you use that same channel to trace them, to track them? I mean, they communicate and it can be reported. That means there's a channel of communication. Why not use that same channel? And which brings me back to the question of rehabilitation, so as to get intel. Well, a lot of things.
All right. So 12 killed in Fresh Plateau attacks. That's below the nameplates. 12 killed in Fresh Plateau attacks. 12 people. Not one, not two. You count up to 12. Bear in mind, 12 people killed in Fresh Plateau attacks. Concerns over voter apathy in FCT, Rivers, Kano elections. Concerns over voter apathy in FCT, Rivers, Kano elections. Electoral Act raises presidential campaign expenses to 10 billion naira. Electoral Act raises presidential campaign expenses to 10 billion naira. Those are the headlines right there, making the face of Daily Trust newspaper this morning.
All right, quickly emerging to papers for review here this morning. I'll start with the Nigerian Tribune. What has changed in new law? That's coming from the Senate leader there with the riders here. Mandatory deployment of BVAS for voter accreditation. Creation of dedicated fund for INEC. Abolition of indirect primaries. Creation of digital membership register by political parties. 2-year jail term for REC who withholds vital documents. Upward review of campaign funds for elective officers. Below that, you have terrorists killing Nigerians are foreigners. FG insists. Terrorists killing Nigerians are foreigners. FG insists. Below that, you have Nigeria floors European tech giant in $6.2 million arbitration case. All right, away from there, below the bold picture there on the Nigerian Tribune, we have APC shows strength, wins big in FCT, Kano, Rivers, Ogun. With the riders here, APC wins 5 area councils in FCT, PDP wins 1. PDP says voter apathy protest against APC's misrule. Outcome of elections, endorsement of Tinubu, APC chairman. EFCC arrests 20 for suspected electoral fraud in FCT council poll. recovers 13.5 million naira from suspects. And these are some of the headlines you can find there on the Nigerian Tribune. However, moving quickly to the Daily Sun this morning as we wrap up. All right, because of our time, we're going to have it at this point, and that will be it from my end.
All right, so that's the wrap on newspaper review segment for the day. I hope that you know and you keep, you have kept abreast of things happening around you at this time. We'll be taking this quick break. When we return, we're going to the conversation and discuss. Stay with us.